Boom. Now I know what you guys are probably thinking. Why would you spend $200 on a 4-hour battery life controller? The battery life is smaller than the regular Dualsense. This just came in the mail today. I'm actually really excited because I have some good news. Some of you guys are going to be happy about this. I finally sent my Steam Deck through UPS to get it replaced. I should be getting a new one in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So in the meantime, I decided to grab this and talk about this a little bit. First party Pro controller from PlayStation for the PS5, and it works on PC. And before we get into it, this is not a review. I am not telling you that you need to buy this or that you should or why you should. It is my choice to buy this and use it and enjoy it. That's what I do here. I buy things that I like, I enjoy them, and I talk about them a little bit. It's your choice whether you agree or disagree with anything I say. I'm not telling anyone what they should and shouldn't do. And let's just address the elephant in the room here. It's a $200 controller, and yes, I've seen the reviews or the talks of the battery life being low, 4 hours, blah, blah, blah. I plan on using this wired when I'm using it on my PC, and 4 hours to me isn't the end of the world when it comes to PlayStation. I don't remember the last time I sat down for 4 hours and played a PlayStation game anyway. So if you are crying about the 4 hour, whatever the case may be, touch grass. 4 hours are up, touch grass. Or plug it in, it's up to you. You can cry about it, or you can just, use it for what it's, for what it's worth, for what it is. It is their first attempt at a Pro controller, so at least we got something, right? Yeah, the box is kind of it's pretty hefty. I would hope the packaging would be hefty considering the price tag. All right, let's, we got an official PlayStation little sticker sealing this shut. There we go. And once again, they're following the same color scheme, the on-brand blue with white. And I don't expect to have full coverage or, like I said, a review on this controller as far as how good or bad the battery life is actually when you're using it. And here is the cream of the crop. I don't even know if I might have opened this wrong. I might have opened it upside down. Hold on, let's get a retry. But Zach, why'd you get a PlayStation controller? You don't even play. Yeah, I do. I play Call of Duty, bro. There's some instruction manuals somewhere in there. Boom. Let's put this off to the side. Damn, they really packaged this thing up securely. What is this? We got the Gucci cloth on here. Ooh. Tortuga shell. Got the hard turtle shell case over here. Ooh, I like these zippers already. Prepare yourselves. Drum roll, please. Boom. Look at that. I don't know how I feel about the gloss finish, honestly. I like this case. The case is... it smells like new. It's actually it's a hard shell case, and the inside too. Hard shell. Also a pocket with the cable. Let's get this cable out. It's a nice braided cord. Has an official PlayStation branding on it. Apparently it's 9 feet long. So for the people wondering how long the cable is, 9 feet apparently. All right, let's take the actual controller out. Before I show the controller, we got our half domes and what are these called again? Thumbstick caps and the cable lock right here, and as well as the paddles. Does this whole unit come out? Like, is it all inside of this? I don't think this comes out actually. Okay, it's just part of the case. Let's just leave it that way. Case itself actually has a little socket enclosure cap. What did I just say? Socket enclosure cap? Yeah, so you can open the case from this side if you want to charge it while it's in the case. So far, impressed by the case. Let's see, does a normal Dualsense controller fit in the case? Yes, it does. Don't know why you'd want to do this, but it does fit in there for whatever reason. Boom. Look at that. I actually don't have a normal white Dualsense anymore because I have the red one and my original white one. Give me 1 second. This was my original white controller. It's just the shell now because I got sent out a Joker shell, and that is what this controller is. This was my original white controller, which is now Joker themed. But man, let's see. First impressions. It feels like a Dualsense. It feels good. Trigger stops right here on the back. We got 3 different settings. Let's see. Okay, that's like cuts off like halfway. Let's see if we put this all the way down. That's the fastest one. I thought it was gonna come with either the paddles or the domes or whatever they're calling it on the back, but it comes with nothing. You have to attach it yourself. The back looks cool. The touchpad looks a little bit different. It actually has the triangle, circle, and X and square buttons or symbols on the touchpad. The normal one doesn't have that, right? No. Just on the Edge. Buttons feel the same. D-pad feels the same. The sticks just feel new. And then on the bottom we have our function buttons. I cannot wait to use this in Call of Duty. I will probably make a video for Call of Duty on the controller, me using the controller, so stick around for that. Okay, so what you do is you pull the release button and then you're able to take the front off. You will see that the edges actually have these little levers right here, and you can actually just pull that up, and that is how you take out the analog stick. And that is the great thing about this controller. You can actually, if you get stick drift or anything like that, you can just take out the thumbstick. I got no thumbstick in the controller. So if one of these ever goes bad, you can just go on PlayStation.com or PlayStation Direct, wherever the website is. I don't know if they're gonna sell these in store, but you can order a brand new module for 20 bucks. And that's the great thing about this controller. Whereas if this controller gets messed up, you got to kind of buy an entire controller or open it yourself and do a bunch of things that you probably shouldn't do. As far as taking these out, I thought it was going to be a little bit more complicated, but it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I figured it out in 10 seconds. We could slide this right back in and pull the lever back down, and boom, it's right back in there. Same thing with the other side, lever on this side. Each side gets its own lever. Both of the levers are up right there. Let's pull them back down, and it kind of inserts them back where they're supposed to be. And then as far as putting this back on, okay, clicks right back on. Great. So as far as removing the cap, that was pretty simple. And as far as taking out the thumbstick modules, that was also pretty simple. Now, I know these come off as well. Okay, so you have to just pull them right off. You can actually just pull that right off, which feels kind of weird to do. It feels like you're breaking it, but at the same time, it feels like it's meant to do that. And I'm putting this. Let me try that again. Boom, until it clicks, I guess. Since those do come off, we can replace it with one of these. Let's go ahead and try one of these. This one's actually a little bit taller. I don't know if you can tell how much taller that actually is, but you'll see that this one is a bit taller. They're so new that they're getting stuck to my finger. There it goes. Now you can see the height difference. That actually feels kind of nice. It's also rounded on top, whereas this one's, what is that called? Concave or inward. This one kind of reminds me of like the old PlayStation controllers. I'm gonna have to try this out in game, but it feels pretty nice in the hand with that high thumbstick. I don't have huge hands, so normally or originally the Dualsense wasn't the most comfortable controller for my hands, but I've been using it quite a bit in Call of Duty and it feels pretty nice. So I'm gonna have to definitely give those higher thumbstick caps a shot. Is that the high? Is that the... Okay, so the ones it comes with are the lows. I'm pretty sure that one is the high. Okay, yep. And then this one's the medium. Doesn't look too much taller than the other one, unless it's the other way around it. For me, it actually looks kind of lower, or the same height, it's just rounded. Okay. I messed around a bit with the thumbsticks and the front cap or whatever. Let me go ahead and actually try attaching one of these paddles. Let's rip it out from there. Look at that little sucker. That's the paddle. And unlike some other Pro controllers that probably some people are upset about this too, this only has two buttons on the back for, or two paddles, two half domes, whatever they're called. Let's see how easily this goes on there. Let me make sure I don't break anything. Okay, that was pretty easy. It just kind of goes right in. Now we have that paddle. There's nothing clicky on this controller, which some people like the, you know, what are those called? Optical switches? I don't know what they're called, but the mouse clicks in their controllers, this doesn't have anything like that. It does still feel very much like the normal DualSense triggers, unless you're using these trigger stops. And the buttons still feel as mushy as they did on the original DualSense. So for people looking for that mouse click feel or the mouse click buttons, this is not that. That is the other option for LB or RB. Let's see. Let's put this in. It's in. Okay, that was pretty easy. And that actually feels nice. That actually lands right where your finger would land on the back of the controller, so it's very comfortable, whereas this one's a little bit closer to the actual grip or handle of the controller. I don't know which one I'm going to end up liking more. Obviously, I have to use the controller, which there's probably going to be a follow-up video on the controller for me using it. This is more of the unboxing and the features straight out of the box versus actually using it in game, which is something I have to spend time with the controller to really talk about. Nice. We still got our headphone jack on the bottom. There's a microphone, the mute button's right there. There's still a speaker. The back actually looks a little bit different, like the lines and stuff. It looks different from the original design. Definitely feels heavier. This one feels very light next to it, but you can't really tell the difference if you're just using it by itself. But there's definitely a weight difference. It's not going to strain your hands or something. It's not like 4 hours of lifting bricks. Sound test. That is the trigger on the lowest trigger stop setting, middle, and normal. And something I didn't know was whether or not this was still going to have adaptive triggers, which it does. And I don't know if you guys know, but adaptive triggers also work in certain games on PC, so you'll be able to take advantage of that feature regardless of whether you're on PlayStation or PC. Kind of like the feeling of the little texture. It's also the triangle, X, circle, square logos or symbols for the texture. That's pretty cool. Prime, get me the Allspark. They got a, I thought it was a rubber band, but it's actually a zip tie that looks like it's made out of cardboard. Paper zip tie. Okay, see you, Sony. Protecting the environment. So it says slide up to lock and down to unlock, and then I'm guessing this opens somehow. Okay, yeah, it opens upward. You'd open that upwards, and then we place our cable in here. Falls right into place, fits perfectly. So don't know if this is going to work with any other cable. Make sure you don't lose the actual cable. And obviously you can use the controller without the lock mechanism. This is more for serious gamers that don't want to be taken out of their gameplay after their 4 hours of battery life is up and they're forced to use this wired. Okay, so it has little prongs that poke out when you put it in the lock position. Look. Can't see it. There we go. Plug it in and hit the lock. Okay, it clicks right in. And then this is what it looks like when it's on there. Boom. And now you're locked in to play whatever you want for as long as you want. I need a little bit more time with the controller so I can use it and remap buttons and see the functionalities on the actual console as well as PC, so expect other videos. This is more of the first impressions and unboxing experience, and I like it so far, so can't wait to use it. And let's just run through this real quick. A little recap. We get the hard shell case, and then inside the case you have the pocket for the 9-foot cable that is included, and there is the lock mechanism attached to the cable that also comes in here. Then we have the controller, as well as two extra sets of thumbsticks, which are rounded on top, and one of them is a higher rise than the original thumbsticks. And then we have our half domes and paddles included as well. We got our triggers with 3 different trigger stop settings. We have 2 function keys on the bottom. We have our little holes on the back for our half domes or paddles. There's only 2 of those. We have our release button to release the front of the controller so we can change the sticks or the entire module. And whatever I missed in this little recap, you can reverse the video, watch it again, do whatever you want. But I am going to make a separate video of me actually using it so that this video is not 10 years long, and we have a little bit more to say once I actually use it and run down that 4-hour battery with vibration on and adaptive triggers active. We'll see how long it takes. As far as using it, stay tuned so I can talk about that in a separate video, as well as seeing what the features and things like that appear like on the actual console, on the PS5. That's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you found it informative, enjoyable, whatever. If you have your opinion, comment your opinion down below. If it's a negative one, oh well, no one's, like I said, no one's forcing you to buy this. Just explore your options. I'm kind of happy that PlayStation went ahead and made, or attempted finally, to give us a Pro controller. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.